All right, we live.
All right, welcome everyone. I'm so honored to have the privilege to interview Mr. Darren Palmer this morning, Mr. Self-Publishing 30 Days himself. The purpose of this interview is uh, I'm a basketball skill development coach. Well, basically, what I do is I coach champions. And so I've been using some principles over the last 12 years called the champion method. Uh, and through this method, I've helped hundreds of athletes achieve extraordinary success. And so I felt like it's time to share these principles to business professionals and coaches, teachers, uh, authors, speakers, just anybody, business professionals, want to take their game to the next level. And so today, I'm interviewing Darren, and I want Darren to share with us how he uses the principle of opportunity to grow his business and help him be successful in business. So, Darren, thank you so much for allowing me to interview today. This is an honor and a privilege, and thank you for taking time to spend with me and help people grow.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt. For one, I just want to tell you, I'm honored to be able to be on the show. I thank you so much for even reaching out because I know for sure if anybody is a champion, then my man Walter Scott is a champion. I got to see what he's been able to do on and off the court, and most importantly, who he is as a family man. And so I don't want, so many times when we look at success, we can just put it into just monetary or material things. We're not saying that that's not a part of it because it is, but you got to make sure that home is right. You got to make sure that you're pouring into your children or those in your community. And Walter Scott definitely does that at a high level. Um, so with that being said, Walter, did you want me just to share a little bit about how to grow, or what did you want me to
Well,
go
I
into?
want to start out just telling everybody. I mean, I know some of your listeners know who you are, and I also be sharing this with on my pages and people that follow me, and so they get the opportunity to know a little bit about who Darren Palmer is. So, if you
Okay.
would share with us who Darren is.
Okay, not a problem. Well, I'm Darren M. Palmer. Darren M. Palmer, Chief Book Officer with Self Publish in 30 Days. We're honored and privileged to be the number one self publishing company in the world. It didn't start off that way. I'm not going to say I had an aha. It was a bright idea for us to do it that way. But I'm afforded the luxury of being able to be the owner of the company, and the company is more than me. I like to say that I'm somewhat of the mascot of the company. And people see my face, they see me, but it's we got quite a bit of people behind the scenes that's allowed for this to be able to flourish and go to the next level. With that being said, we also have 4 or 5 shows that we have on a weekly basis. We serve people across the globe and do some consulting for small businesses. So that's who I am. But most importantly, I'm a husband. I'm a father to 2 boys, and I mean 2 girls and 2 boys. They keep me going, keep my prayer life up. For the most part. But but at the same time, I'm just a person who's a everyday person. I mean, I love people. I love to empower people, but these champion principles that Walter shares, I live by them. I've been able to have a copy of the book myself, and utilize them as well. And it's been able to help me in my life as well, the things that Walter Scott is doing. So that's just a little bit about us, Walter.
All right. Well, thank you so much for the introduction. And you know, just following your lead there and trying to work hard like you. I mean, you're one of the hardest workers I know. Uh, but so speaking about those 8 steps to be a champion. So today we're talking about opportunity. So Dan, if you would start us off. So first off, when you hear the word opportunity, what does that mean to you? What is an opportunity?
To me, opportunity is really where um, the preparation meets the thing that you are looking for. So whatever you say your dream or goal is, it's that moment. It meets the moment that allows for you to be a separator. So let me dive a little bit into that. When I think of opportunity, I can be preparing for that heavyweight or championship bout, but until I get the opportunity or able to get into that room, that allows for my dreams and opportunities, that allows for my dreams to come true. So to me, an opportunity is a step for my dream to come true and a dream for others to come true. So when I look at opportunities, I believe in a philosophy or carpe diem, of seizing the day. And so I know that if I don't take advantage of the opportunity, then what I'm basically saying is I'm denouncing that dream or goal that I say I have. And so I don't want people to miss that what I just shared there. By me not taking advantage of the opportunity, then I'm denouncing the dream or goal. So I might say that I want to be in shape, but I got the opportunity not to eat the whole pound cake. You see what I'm saying? So, but if I eat the whole pound cake, now I've denounced that opportunity for me, just say, to walk my daughters down the aisle. Because if I have a heart attack or I have a stroke or I'm diabetic, so to speak, and then I'm still carrying on those same bad habits, I forfeited the opportunity. So that denounced my dreams and goals. So when I look at opportunity, I look at it as this is the gateway for my dreams and goals to be accomplished.
Oh man, Darren, that was so powerful, and man, I don't know how you can say that any better than that. So what I took from that is, if I don't take advantage of the opportunity, I'm denouncing the goal or dream that I say that I have. That's so powerful the way you spoke that.
Mm-hmm.
So let me ask you this question. So do you feel like we all have opportunities every day to get one step closer to our dreams and our goals? Because I mean, they're not going to knock. I mean, not all the time. They're not going to knock and tell you, "Hey, I'm here." So it's up to us to recognize them. But do we have those opportunities all the time?
Oh wow, man! See that's why we roll together, Walter. That's why we roll together. See questions like that. You know, Walter, it's amazing that question that you brought up because it's exactly true. We have the opportunity. We have the opportunity every single day to get closer. A young lady by the name of Wendy Hunt bring this up. I mean, her husband, I talked to him about it too. Alistair, he bring this up. It's the 1% method that I like to call it. And we all have the opportunity to get 1% better each and every day. So if I continue to get 1% better each and every day, 365 days out of a year, that means I'm over 300% better than I was when the year originally started, and add a little change to that. So when you look at that, you have the opportunity to get better, that allows for you to break down your goal. So if you know the overall goal is this big, hairy, audacious goal, you break it down into bite-sized pieces. How a wise man once told me out the South, he said, Darren, he said, "How do you eat an elephant, son?" I said, "I don't know, sir." He said, "One bite at a time." And that's how you got to look at opportunity. Opportunity is the bite-sized pieces that you need to take that allow for you to be able to overcome the daunting task of trying to take on that elephant or that hairy, audacious goal to allow for you to get there. So each step, I want to dive into this one. Each step, each opportunity that you take advantage of each day allows for the dream to get closer. But it's something amazing about this, Walter, that if I don't take the initial step, if I don't take advantage of the opportunity of today, then I'll never see, because it's certain things that open up to me that I'm unaware of until I pass one level. So one level, like a kid's game, I got to pass this level to go to the next level. So success leaves clues. And if I don't pay my dues each and every day, then I never know what the secret code is or the hack to be able to get into the next level to allow for me to accomplish my dreams and goals. Because just put it this way, week 5 will give me a revelation that will allow for me to get close to my goal that I didn't have in week 1. Woo! Don't miss that one right there, y'all. Week 5 in me moving forward towards my goal won't be. Week 5 will give me a door that's opening up to me that I won't have in week 1. So some of us are trying to use our week 1 lens for week 5, and we'll never get to week 10 because we won't be able to see the end from the beginning, so to speak, because there's going to be doors that open, relationships that open to you that you'll never know that's going to open up to you unless you get past week 1 and get to week 5.
Oh, wow. Wow, that's, whoo, Darren, you, you dropped some gems, man. This is some powerful, powerful stuff, bro. I knew this interview was going to be powerful, and you're not disappointing by any stretch of the imagination. So you're exactly right. So what I heard you just say is, if I don't take advantage of today, then I won't be in position to achieve, experience those opportunities tomorrow that might help me get one step closer. So I have to take advantage of today. And then if I do what I need to do today, that's going to lead to another opportunity tomorrow. Am I hearing you right?
Yeah, you're hearing me right. And just to add a little basketball analogy there, you don't win the game winning shot during the game.
Yeah.
Let me say that a little slower. You don't win the game winning shot during the game. I know some of you at home saying, what is this man talking about? Who did walk wrong? Did this man take his medication this morning? You don't win the game winning shot during the game. You win the game winning shot of all that extra time that you put in practice. When practice was over with, all those shots that you took after practice was over with, and you were still shooting your free throws, you were still practicing your shot, you were still practicing in your zone. So now all of a sudden, when it's game time, you are prepared for that opportunity. So you're able to seize that opportunity of all the work that you was doing behind the scenes. A guy doesn't become a 15. A guy doesn't win the award for as being a running back that can run over 1,500 yards in a season of 2,000. He don't win it during the season. He wins it when everybody else was chilling, while everybody else was on the yacht, when he was running them hills, when he was running those bleachers outside of practice, he was running them tires or whatnot. The young lady who's winning or whatnot in corporate, she's not winning because what people see in the boardroom is all that time of preparation, with her Googling, with her seeking wise counsel, with her being able to have those nights or whatnot. So when you see her in the stilettos and she dressed up and she killed and knocked out the deal and signed the contract, that was because a lot of preparation that was put behind that. So I hope that makes sense to the audience, Walter.
It makes complete sense. I love what you're saying. And the first thing that you brought out just a minute ago was, it made me think about a saying I always try to tell people is, your future opportunity is dictated by what you do with the present opportunity. You know, I take myself, I've been doing what I'm doing 12 years, working with athletes. And so some of the opportunities I'm getting right now, I know for a fact, if over the years I wasn't taking advantage of those opportunities, I wouldn't get this opportunity right now. You know, I'll put it this way. I mean, you're a busy man. And so I know if I didn't come on this show and add value, you wouldn't have time for this show. I mean, so you rock with people who are really a movers and shakers. So, I mean, that's just how life works. You know, you only get what you put into something. Mm-hmm. So you're not going to get to another level if you're not doing the preparation that you're talking about. So with this champion method and the book that you spoke of earlier that you have a copy of and that you utilize, if I didn't write that book, I guess it was in 2016, I couldn't be helping people. You know, I mailed out some copies just a few days ago to some of my new clients. And, you know, let me speak on this real quick. So life now with a 3-year-old has gotten busy. And so I wrote that book in 2016. And if I didn't sit down for those months, yes, sir, thank you for putting that up. Yes, sir, thank you for showing that. If I didn't write that book in 2016, like up until this point, I don't know if the book would have gotten written, because I had a newborn come, and when she came, life got crazy. So I had to sit down in 2016 when it was on me, like, Walter, you got to do this. You got to write this book. And now the book is in existence. It's not an idea in my head. It's not something that I thought about. It's not something I was talking about. Now it's something tangible that I can use to inspire people and help them go to the next level. So that's just an illustration of, like you said a minute ago, that carpe diem, you know, taking advantage of the opportunity when it's right in front of you. So
absolutely, Walter.
So Dan, I want to ask you this question. So what's one opportunity that you have taken advantage of that's really made a difference in your life, whether it be business or be just personal?
Well, amazing question, Walter. Man, you're doing an excellent job. Man, that's a good question. I think one of the things that I take advantage of that I see that's a game changer for me is investing in myself. And I think that's something, I mean, people give me credit on other things. And, but I would say my superpower is investing in myself. I know that I'm not the smartest person in the room, in the rooms that I'm in. So I have connections with people like Walter Scott. I learn from people. I don't let ego get in the way. And I think that is a hindrance to so many people because they got to be the top woman. They got to be the top man. I'm not saying that you can't win at what you do, but you have to invest in yourself and learn. And that's something that I've found that is the common denominator with the successful people I had the opportunity to learn from, or those I had as guests on our shows or masterminds events. The people that I'm seeing have the most success, they have a ravenous appetite. They have a ravenous thought process when it comes to, they have a hunger for knowledge, for growing. They don't belittle people. They don't look at someone like they're willing to learn. They're willing to invest. Let's just be real. They're willing to invest money to get around the right people. That's the difference. They're no smarter. They're not more talented. Don't look better. But that's the separator, because I notice with other people that typically stay ordinary instead of extraordinary, is that they can't get over they don't have the mental fortitude to get over. They feel like that they're inferior because they got to learn from somebody else. So when we're all learning anyway, whatever you know now, you had to learn from somebody else. But some people, they cap and don't want to learn. So when you ask me, what is that opportunity that I took advantage of? And not saying that sometimes you don't have to breathe a little bit. Not saying that the task don't make you think like, ooh. And I'm not saying that it's not people that beat people out there, and everybody's not giving wise counsel. So let me get that disclaimer out there. Everybody who said they're giving you advice is not giving the right advice. But I mean, seek out wise counsel, do your homework, do your research. But you also got to realize that, you're not going to understand everything at the beginning. You got to do a jump. So if you want a different thought pattern, then you're going to have to lose the thought that you've always had. You're going to have to replace it with another thought. So if you see people who living or doing things that you want to do, keep it simple and get around the right people. And I think that has allowed for me to be prepared for different things, Walter, that others aren't, because they don't know what they don't know. Let's use your example again. I saw that the book was going to be beneficial for you, but you had an option. You had the choice to take advantage of that opportunity, or you could have made an excuse that would have sounded good. Well, I could save that, and I could do this, put that in my savings, my kids' college fund. So you can start coming up with all, and it sounds real good. It sounds great. But at the end of the day, you was willing to take an opportunity to learn from somebody who had did something that you hadn't did yet, and you were able to build off on what they knew to be true. And now all of a sudden you're able to share it. Now it's a reality. Now it has manifested itself. And now you're still reaping the rewards over something that you did once, you did right. And you're going to reap the rest of your life, and even your kids going to reap from it because you made that move.
Oh, damn, you dropping too many nuggets, bro. This is powerful. Man, this is so powerful. So what I heard you say just then, one of the most important opportunities that I need to take advantage of is investing in myself.
Yes, sir.
So I can look at it both ways. So, like I say, I work with student athletes, but the purpose of these interviews is to give information to business professionals, adults, not just student athletes. And when I look at it on both sides, like the parents invest in their kids to train with people like myself to help them get better at basketball. They could stay in their driveway and try to dribble and try to, figure it out themselves. But because they bring their kid to someone like myself, they're able to get better a lot faster. And if you look at it in the business world, as business owners, we're always trying to get better. And I know that I am. And the one thing that I really started thinking about the last couple of weeks is, Walter, you want to go to another level, but it's not going to help. It's not going to happen until you grow you. Like, until you improve yourself, you're not going to another level. And so what you're saying is so powerful. It's not, I got to do some activity. You hear that? Activity is important, but sometimes the activity that you need to be doing to get to the next level is not going to happen until you first sit down and start doing some stuff to get better individually. So now I can do better activity. Like, I can think better thoughts. I can come up with better ideas. I can execute better on those activities once I take some time to grow and develop me. So Darren, that was so powerful, man. That was so powerful.
Man, while you're there, right quick, Walter, let me just throw this in. I got a mentor of mine named Matt Monero, and that's the thing that he realized. Even though Matt had a company that was already doing around, I think, like 75 to 100 million a year, he actually said he knew he was capped. He knew he needed to go further. So he finally went on Pony Up, got him a consultant that he knew that could help him. They sat down, mapped out a plan, a 36-month plan, and they was able to jump from that 100 to now they're at to 165. Now they're doing at least 175 million a year. Okay, all because he sat down. It was the roadmap. It was the plan. But how many of us would have let ego get in the way? How many? Okay, it's good that Matt good, but he got team members, others who are taking care of their kids' colleges or whatnot, looking for retirement. See, when you realize that it's bigger than you, so that's what you got to ask yourself and get clear on. It's more in you, but do you want to utilize that? Because if you got pride, if you got ego, then it's easy for you just to do, well, I can do this. It's just like a person on the team. You lost the game, but you telling everybody in the press, well, I had 25 points and 10 rebounds. But y'all lost, dude. Or you lost, do that. You still lost. But see, if you got that me, like you're getting ready to do a solo, and then you don't understand that, then that's why I'm saying, well, we're talking to business leaders. So if it's your corporation, if it's your enterprise, if it's that nonprofit that you're running, you have to have an idea of teamwork make the dream work. And if you're not the best version of yourself, you making others suffer because you're capped. As John Maxwell talks about, it's the law of the lid. It's the organization is only going to go so far as you go. So while you making it harder, and I know some people are looking at grind and 10x and do all this. No. You need to have, wherever you have clarity of vision, you will have acceleration to the known goal. If you're driving in the fog, you're going to slow down. When the fog lifts, you're able to accelerate. You're able to, you're able to push the gas and keep going where you need to go. If the fog comes, you're going to slow down. So wherever you have clarity of vision, you have acceleration to the known goal. But as long as you're doing what you think is going to work, you're going to keep getting what you've always gotten because you don't have an understanding. You don't have a clue. Some of the things that we've been able to do during COVID that allows for us to continue to go ahead and prosper is because some training that I had invested in before COVID. I didn't know COVID was going to happen, but it was some things that I had already put in place by learning from people that were ahead of me or just could guide me on something that I wasn't even thinking about. And it's okay that that's not going to come from your husband or from your wife or from your children or somebody you go to church with or from a client. You got to get around other people who don't mind sharing with you realness about where you can improve, and you got to be able to receive that.
Darren, I should be taking notes right now, but I guarantee you I'm gonna go back and watch this episode, and I'll be writing down a lot of notes, man. This is boy, this is some powerful stuff right here. Man, goodness gracious. So let me ask you this. So you just talked about an opportunity. So the number one opportunity that I'm hearing you say, and I believe wholeheartedly as well, is that we got to invest in ourselves, improve ourselves. So since that is the number one opportunity, like, give us some, some tips on what that looks like. So how should I be investing in myself? For an athlete, it's how you eat, getting proper rest, staying out to practice, getting with your coach, coming up with a game plan on how you're going to get better. So if I'm going to go to the gym today for an hour, kind of mapping it out, am I going to shoot? Am I going to dribble? Am I run? What aspects of your game you're going to work on? So for the business professional, what does that look like? Like in my daily routine, how can I take advantage of some opportunities to get better on a daily basis, like as a business owner or business professional?
I think that's an amazing question, Walter. I would just say, let's just not make it hard. We're going to make it simple. For one thing you need to do is you got to realize that you're a tripart being. So you got to work on all the areas of your life. And so what I mean by that is you got to make sure that whatever you into, I'm not here to tell you what you need to do. You got to make sure that your spirituality is right. You got to have some of that. You got to have a higher purpose with something going on, because it's too easy to quit and give up if you don't have a higher calling. So I don't want to forsake that, because I can give you all these business tips, but if that ain't right, nothing else is going to be right either. The other part of that is you got to make sure that you are doing things. When you brought up earlier, you don't have to play for the Lakers to do something with your body, because you're going to have a biochemical response to your mind, which is going to mess with your thinking. That when you get your thinking, it's going to mess with your belief, and what you believe in is going to interfere with what you're doing. So if you are having high levels of anxiety, typically, especially during the time that we're in, because you're not moving your body. So I'm not telling you that you need to go win Mr. or Miss Olympia or nothing, but you got to find some ways to work your body, to break a sweat, to do some activities, to do some of the things that you need to do to be able to allow for your mind to have clarity, to be able to focus on the things that you need to execute on. So if I'm in the right state spiritually, if I'm in the right state far as physically, because I'm moving my body, now all of a sudden I'm going to be more productive. I'm going to be on my A game when it comes to me dealing in the office with my colleagues. I'm going to be able to be having a better response when it comes to team members. I'm going to have a different response when it comes to those who I'm serving. So these are just some of the things that we got to make sure that we're focused on, because all that allows for you to be productive or whatnot. So let me give some just other steps on this too as well. Make sure that you're reading every day. If you're not reading, make sure that you're able to have Audible or something where you're able to listen to audio. Okay. If you're not having audio, then we got YouTube University. So now that's free. You ain't got no excuses about your budget and your John Maxwell plan and all that you got and being debt free. We don't have to hear all that crying going on while you can't develop. So you got YouTube University. You got, little courses for cheap and for the low that can help you no matter what area that you're in on Udemy, on a site called Udemy. You can go to udemy.com. They have little courses of whatnot to help you as far as your development. So you want to focus on those areas as well. So those are some of the things that you can just do immediately or whatnot to be able to get some resources. Also, groups, just like what we have with Champion Motivation and Inspiration. There are private Facebook groups where you get information. Last time I checked, Walt, you're not charging for this yet, are you?
No, not yet.
Oh, okay, not
Not
yet.
yet.
You heard I put yet in there. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
Okay, so
yeah,
this
yeah.
is wise counsel. So you got events like this happening that's for free for right now. So if you're not taking advantage of that, that's your response. That's that opportunity that you're missing to be able to glean. Because there's people who pay, you know, tens of thousands of dollars for some of the stuff that we've talked about here today that you get for free. So if you're not taking advantage of that, whose fault is that? That's your fault. So those are the things that I would say just start off with, invest in yourself, but then realize as well, continue to go up in your investing, network with the right people, be a part of the right groups. That's going to be beneficial for you in the long run. So those are some of the steps. Let's go over it again. Let's do some, make sure that your spirituality right, move your body. If it's just 20, 30 minutes a day, if you're just doing a little brisk walk, whatever you're doing, do some stretches, whatever you need to do to get your mind right. Also read at least 10 pages a day if you can. Then also, if you can't do that, get Audible so you can listen to your books, or just get on YouTube. There's a lot of books on YouTube or inspirational or areas of expertise. But before I pass it back to Walter, I want you to understand too, in your development, you got to self-assess to see where you are. Now, as I was working just as a speaker at one time, I was heavily just focused on speaking. Then I started being more of a solopreneur where it's just me, and I outsourced a bunch of things. So my development changed from that part of it to just being a self-employed to being an actual business owner. So the mindset that I had when I was just speaking and working part-time, and to the mind that I had when I was self-employed, to the mind that I got to have now as a business owner, and now switching that even over to an investor, it takes a different version of Darren to show up in those different quadrants. So that's why I wanted to share with you about like a Matt Monero or Judge Graham or some of the others that I connect with, because they were able to help me from a business owner standpoint, because it's not just me anymore. How do I lead a team effectively? How do I create a culture? How it's not just me performing. How do I make champions, just like what Walter Scott does or whatnot? How do I make champions and develop leaders that buy into the culture, that's a winning organization where it's win-wins for everybody, which is our core value. So depending on where you are in the process, you need to know if I'm just if I'm an admin, I need to know it's a different if I'm an executive assistant. It's a difference if I'm just doing a few little freelance projects and I'm deciding that I want to make this a real business, because it's different skill levels and the different type of think that I need to have an actual business. Those are some of the areas that I would want you to focus on when you're looking at your development.
Darren. Oh man, I listened to Lisa Nichols, and she said she always comes to disrupt, and you disrupted me over here, bruh. You disrupted me, bruh. Like I came to give the information to the people, and I'm seeing I gotta step my game up, bruh. You messing me up, man. So hey, but I love it though. I love it. So we're talking about opportunity. So while I'm thinking about it, I need to get with you to see if you have some programs on some things that you're talking about, because you're so right. I mean, it all comes down to how we grow. Like I know myself personally, I want to take my company to a whole nother level. I want to go to a level that has never been before. And we talk about opportunity. So here currently, I was speaking with somebody the other day about adversity, and sometimes adversity we don't like it. It don't feel good. But so this COVID, and I hate to even say adversity when we talk about COVID, because it does have health implications and stuff like that. So I'm not, anybody listening, I'm not trying to minimize COVID and just put it in a box of adversity, but it has brought about some adverse situations because of the health crisis or whatever. But anyway, so my point to bring that up, when COVID hit, it disrupted how I did business. And so, like, I always knew that having gym space is a threat to the training industry. And so, when COVID hit, now we couldn't get in the gym. And so, there was some other ways to, do stuff virtually. and I've done a little bit of that. But I got to thinking though, Walter, what are some things that you really need to be about to grow your company, or what ways you want to grow your company? And so I understand that to really help student athletes go to the next level, have to improve their mindset. You know, the same thing that Darren is talking about from a business owner perspective and business professionals, athletes have to do that same type of thing. Like who you are as a person, your belief in yourself, you're having a champion mindset is going to impact what you do on the court. I don't care if you're elementary all the way to college. There are some people that use a sport analogy where they say they're dogs. Like some people have dogs in them, but even with that dog, that's only going to take you so far. Because there are dogs on the court or on the field, but when they're off the court, they're suffering. You know, they make millions of dollars, but when they get done, when the lights shut off, now there's not everybody, because there are some people, the LeBrons of the world, who will never have to worry about working or doing anything the rest of their life. But there are some people who put all this time and energy to being this great athlete on the field and on the court, but when it's all said and done, they suffer, and it's because of this mindset. And so, you know, and that's what I want to put my focus on. I still want to get on the court with athletes, but I want to start working with athletes and helping them improve their mindset, improve their quality of life. Like be a champion on the court, but also be a champion off the court. And so for me to do that, one, I have to grow, like we've been talking about, but I also have to start utilizing some other skills that I hadn't really been utilizing. So that's what COVID brought about for me. Like it was a challenge, it was adversity, but it was I probably wouldn't be doing this show right now with you, Darren, to be honest. And I need to do this show. I probably needed to do this show years ago, but I might not have been taking advantage of this opportunity had COVID not hit. Because when I start shifting my mindset, like Walter, how do you increase your visibility? You know, the best strategy might not be for me just to keep being in the gym dribbling somewhere. It might be me connecting with other people, me sharing the information, the principles that I've helped athletes with, share those so other people can tap into that. Right now we're talking about opportunity, and anybody watching this show right here will change your life. If you go back, if you're watching right now, or if you go back and watch on the replay and take notes, this will change your life. And this is all about one of those principles in the 8 steps to be a champion. I've been talking about this with athletes for years. So I know this will be a game changer and change your life. So Darren, let me ask you this. Is there an opportunity that you look back on and you kind of kick yourself that you didn't take advantage of?
Man, let me see. You know, besides marrying my wife earlier and quicker, you know, if I go past that, if I go past that, I should marry her quicker. But at the same time, I would say one of the things that I think everything helps you, but I believe the one thing that I would look at that I should have did quicker was, I would say the investing in myself. I should have done it quicker, even though I understood. The reason I'm saying this is understanding the concept of your network is your net worth. Okay, so if you don't have someone, don't make the mistake of thinking that you're going to have the right self-image of yourself. You will typically have to piggyback the thoughts of others about you in a certain season in your life. So what did it mean? So as a coach, Walter sees something in that athlete that they don't see in themselves. So that athlete has to borrow his confidence in them until their self-image catches up with what he knew that their potential was the whole time. So for those who are in the corporate arena or in business, it's the same way. There is greatness in you. You are extraordinary. You are phenomenal. But at the same time, you're not going to view yourself that way because you allowing your current circumstances and you're allowing your current environment to dictate who you are. It's just like the old school saying out the South, you can't see the forest for looking at the trees. So when you get people who can speak life into you, who see the bigger picture and understand that you're just actually on the journey to reaching your full potential, that you just haven't arrived yet, even though that sounds simple, when you're in the midst of the things that you're going through, you can't see that. So having people around you that understand that is imperative. That's why most businesses go out of business, because they don't have the right thought patterns. They're not around the right people who telling them. They're listening. I don't want to get in trouble with this, but I got to say this. You're listening to people who giving you instruction on business who are 9 to 5. So it's nothing against 9 to 5, but they have a mindset that's not going to help you far as what you need to think about. Okay, let's go a little bit deeper in this. If you have a business, if you're an entrepreneur and you married, it's not the same advice for somebody who expects for their spouse to be home at a certain time every night or at the same time every day. Or you don't, because you might be able to go pick up your kids earlier because you have created your schedule that way, Walter. So it's not the same as somebody who just left the plant. So you don't want to compare apples to oranges because, you know, that's a false idea. That's not real. So what I'm bringing up is what is the narrative that you're telling yourself, even when it comes to clients? So I had to realize that, Darren, you got to break up with some of your old clients. Well, what do you mean by that? Because your limited beliefs and what you're adding to people is more than what you've been having for as an investment for them to work with you. So instead of being bogged down with doing the Walmart, the lowest prices, you have to understand we want to be more of a tailor-made approach for those who can benefit from our services, who understand the value of it. So I realized that our services aren't meant for everybody, but that's okay. But we realized that we have to be intentional and be market leaders in our niche. So we allow for people to go be great where they need to be great at. But I wouldn't have never realized that on the other side of this, Walter, by being and networking with the right people, you have people who take care and do things with your premium solutions that you offer for us packages, and they're the best people to work with. No headaches. You don't have to give them a kidney. You don't have to be at their kids' recital. You don't have to do none of these extracurricular activities because they think different. And guess what they do? They beget other clients who think the same way. So now all of a sudden you done got with the right type of people who see your value. So go where you're celebrated and not tolerated. But if I'm acquiescing, going back and dealing with the quagmire of people who think that, ooh, this is a lot. Ooh, I can't deal with this. Ooh, you know, what am I going to get for that? Am I going to get 1 million books for that? You know, if you're dealing with people who don't understand what you're bringing to the table, then it's like with you. You can give someone an opportunity to be able to work with you. You've got years of experience doing this. So even though the young man or young woman might be talented with their skill level, their mentality is not right on business. So their thinking is not right on what's going to give them longevity in business. So instead of getting the tutelage and being under you or whatnot to give them that sage, give them that mentorship, they just think because they're skilled and they can dribble behind their back real quick and hit a jump shot, a dunk, that just qualifies them to be successful in business. And that's a different mindset. So they are a technician, but they're out of position when it comes to being a business person. And so those are the things that I would say that one of the things that I kick myself on is picking up on that quicker, because I was dealing with headaches that I shouldn't have dealt with because my thinking was wrong. But whenever I let go of those other relationships, it allowed for me to go into the stratosphere where people celebrated me and not just tolerated me.
Boy, damn, my goodness, bro. This episode is so powerful, man. And I'm not just saying that. This is, oh, dude, this is some heavy duty stuff. So let me say this to you. You and I met each other years ago. I think it was a little over about 4, somewhere off in there. And I want to take this time to say to you, man, I know we both grown. I definitely can, this interview, I can see your growth. I mean, the version of Darren that I'm interviewing right now and that I'm hearing speak, I saw some of that same person years ago, but it's a different Darren. I mean, you're at a different level, and I can just share that. So one, if we're talking about what's the opportunity that I kicked myself on that I should have took more advantage of, I probably should have stuck a little close to Darren. Like I'll say that to you right now, bro. Like I should have hung with you. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, it's not too late. You know, I feel like over the years I had to go and figure some things out. And so the Lord is allowing us to connect right now. And so I'm so grateful for today. I mean, people don't know right now, when you kick this off, we got going. But on my page, I was trying to get us connected, and it wouldn't connect. And I was trying for about 5 or 10 minutes. And but I'm so glad that we didn't give up and we pushed forward, and that we're having this interview today. Because anybody watching, man, it should be impacting you, and it should be taking you to another level. I know it is for me. Like, this is helping me tremendously. So I just want to say that to you, Darren. I just want to miss opportunities, man. I probably should have stuck a little close to you, but we can reconnect.
Oh yeah, man. No doubt, no doubt. And I also wanted to share this while you talking about that, Walter, is just understand people who've been with you and who have grown with you. And just because you hadn't talked to them doesn't mean that you can't connect with people. It's the power of partnership. I think that most people miss out because the power of partnership. Some wasn't working on Walter's end, but it was working on our end. Sometimes it might not work on my end, but it works on Walter's end. So get around people that you know that's actually care about you as a human being. That's what I know that I have in Walter. So even if I hadn't talked to Walter every day, or if we're not playing dominoes under a tree somewhere, it doesn't mean that we don't care about each other and our brotherhood and the relationship that we've had. I've been able to know and meet his family personally. You know what I'm saying? The kid, I mean, they ain't little kids no more. They growing up, but at the same time, those are things that you don't take lightly. So when you got good people in your life, let them know and let them know that you appreciate them, because I appreciate you, Walter, and all that you stand for. And like I said, I brought that up earlier on the show. I mean, Walter is somebody who I really respect. Like, I mean, this is not because he's on the air. I'm not taking time to do this. I'm doing it because of my connection to Walter. Like, we know what we've been through on some of the things that we've done. We done had personal talk. We done prayed with each other. We done talk strategy with each other. So I understand that, and so when we look at this and see what he's been able to accomplish and build, he's still in the game. You're not still in business if you're not about that life. It's some bumps, it's some bruises. You're not lasting like Walter is lasting if you're not. Now, it's good. You can have some people who are weekend warriors who, they got a check coming on in. So on the weekend, they can talk a bunch of Gary V motivational, but they know they got that check coming in. But when you are having to eat what you kill, that's a whole nother level.
Yeah. I agree, man. This is powerful, Darren, man. I thank you so much for your time, with this interview today. And I know you got stuff you need to be doing. So I'm definitely going to be connecting with you, bro, like real soon. I heard you say consultant work or even some of your programs, because I love to get your thoughts on some things that I need to be doing to take my business to the next level. One thing I want to continue to do is be on the court with athletes. I love that part, but I want to coach players off the court, mental preparedness. And I also want to go do some more speaking. But the other thing I want to do is I want to coach coaches, like on how to help athletes or just help people with their mindset. So there are some expansion of my company that I want to do, and listen to you and seeing the move that you're making. I know that you can give me some insight. So I will be reaching out to you.
Oh man, anytime, Walter. Anytime, my brother.
So I know your time is valuable, and you got to wrap this up. So in closing, what piece of advice would you give us to how to, better take advantage of opportunities? I know you shared a lot, but anything you want to say in closing in terms of, let me say this. I'm gonna rephrase it this way. Because sometimes people say seize the moment, and you got to take advantage of opportunities. And some people take that as a cliche, but it's just as serious as us sitting here talking right now. It's like the air you breathe. It's so serious. Taking advantage of opportunities can make a huge difference. Like, as opposed to getting one result, you're getting this other result because you didn't take advantage of the opportunity. So in closing, if you would just help us understand, like, the power of taking advantage of opportunity, like, just give us some encouragement so we don't miss those opportunities when they present themselves.
For one, I would just make sure that you work on the limited beliefs that you have on yourself. It's amazing how we can think positive about other people, or even if we think negative of them, we still think positive because we see some of the successes that they're having, but we can't view it and see it for ourselves. So one, I want to just debunk the myth that some of you might be having that it's too late. You look at people like Colonel Sanders. You look at people like Sam Walton with Walmart that was able to build, conglomerates that's impacting people across the globe. But we live in a society just think if you didn't do a Facebook, if you didn't create the next app, if you didn't do Uber, you are behind. Most fortunes are made for people in their 50s and above. And so I want those of you out there who feel like that you missed the bus, that you didn't have adequate education, or you going through a divorce, or now all of a sudden you had child support, or life hit you with this or that, or whatever it may be, or the COVID-19 situation. It's not over for you. But this is the moment, this is the time that you need to seize the opportunity to take over your mind. Yes, take over your mind. You can't drift. You need to focus on where you want to go. So first of all, get clear on what you want to have. And then when you get focused on what you want to have, keep all of your attention and your energy focused on what you're designed to have in life and who would benefit by you accomplishing that. And I'm telling you that it can happen for you. But more importantly, don't give up. You're going to get hit with life. Life is going to hit. As the famous quote from the great philosopher and former heavyweight champion Mike Tyson would tell you, everybody got a plan until they get hit in the mouth. And so when you get hit in the mouth, that's what we're going to see what's going to happen to you. And that's what you got to be able to keep up with. And what I mean by hitting in the life is it's great to look at the stories and, oh, wow, Tyler Perry. Oh, wow. Yeah, he got the studio in Atlanta and all that. But are you about that life where he was saving up the income tax check and working and doing getting those tips and saving up each year to invest all his money in for one event and nobody show up for years in a row? Are you willing to go through the times when he's sleeping in his car or whatnot because he was homeless somewhat, because he was investing everything in the dream? You look at an Oprah Winfrey situation. Are you able to come over the sexual abuse that you had? Are you able to overcome your gender or your nationality or your ethnic background that you come from, or where you came up with socioeconomically? Are you able to overcome those things? Are you able to have the grit that Steve Jobs had when his arch nemesis or whatnot, Bill Gates, he had to go to him and borrow money to keep Apple alive? Are you willing to do what it takes to win? Do you know how much pride could have made that self-sabotage? He could have had an attitude, I'm not going to him for nothing. What Pepsi looked like going to Coke asking for some money. But he found a way to broker a deal. Now we're sitting here with iPhones now because he was able to broker that deal, and they realized that it was enough room for both parties to be in the marketplace. So where are you allowing for pride to make you self-sabotage yourself because you let ego get in the way because you don't want to learn something from somebody? You don't want to invest. And so you taking the wrong type of mindset, and that's hindering you from reaching the next level of success. So if a guy like my friend Matt Monero could be already at 100 million a year, and he saw the need to bring somebody in that allowed for him to be able to go to 170 million a year, 175 million a year, but you got $1,000 and you scared to part way with anything, but you think you're going to, if you can't invest $1,000, how you going to make $1 million? Just think on that. Just let that marinate like a good T-bone steak. If you're not willing to part from anything you have to grow, why would anybody else take you seriously when they have invested in themselves to get to the level where they are or whatnot? So it's this not a pitch for you just to go and make it rain and throw money away, but we'll go out to eat. We'll use Uber Eats. We'll go buy shoes. We'll go to the show. We find excuses, but you're thinking the wrong way. You're not going to save your way to success. It's not going to happen. You're going to have to find a way to earn more and then actually make sure your stuff works for you or whatnot. And that typically will come to you building relationships and learning from people that can help you go to the next level. So I want to leave you all with that because I feel that in my spirit that someone needs to hear this today. You're doing the same thing and you expecting a different result. And you using the crutch of you being responsible and I got a family and I need to do something with your kids. You're thinking the wrong way. Why are you trying to do something that's going to take 25 or 30 years for you to save for your kids when you can actually get the right advice that can make sure that you quantify that and you shrink the time down and now you can take care of your kids' tuition within 5 years. But with your thinking, it's going to take you 25. So what do? Well, you want to save the 20 years of time by getting the right information, by even if it take investing some of the stuff that you save for them, if you can cut down the time, because time is priceless. If you cut down the time, now you can connect and get that back even quicker and faster. And now you got a better quality of life instead of your life being over. And you say you sacrificed it all because you took a bunch of years to get something done. And that's what you got to ask yourself. So let your next move be your best move.
Darren, man, I just can't say it enough, man. This has been so powerful, man. I knew this interview was gonna be fire, as they say, and I knew it was gonna be some great content, but this exceeded expectations. So, man, I just kudos to you. I know your listeners are gonna benefit from this, and when I share it in my group, you give them some nuggets today that will definitely take people to a couple levels. So thank you, man. You know, deep down in my heart, thank you so much for taking time to doing this interview with me. And I'm appreciative. So thank you, man.
No doubt, man. And we got to get together and we got to have another episode where we bring you on one of our shows as well, too, Walter. So we definitely got to do that, man. So we got to get some things in the works with each other.
Let's go. Let's get it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, let's get it. I'm champions always trying to take advantage of that opportunity. So,
there you go. There you go.
Hey, the stuff that you said ain't gonna be lost on me, bro. Like I will apply. So you didn't drop all these nuggets, and I'm not gonna be applying it. You know, so I don't teach the opportunity and then not live it. So yes, let's get to work. Let's get it. Yes, sir.
Awesome, man. Awesome, Walter. Did you have any nuggets that you can share with the people real quick before we get off on how they can connect with you and find out more about what you got going on, if you don't mind?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Anybody looking, to work with me or just to connect with me, I can be found on Facebook as Walter Scott. Also on Facebook as well, Champion Basketball. Champion Basketball Training, Champion Motivation and Inspiration. The couple pages I have there on Facebook. Also can find me on Instagram at Champion Basketball Training. So those are just a couple places. And I love about Instagram, when you go on someone's profile and you hit, it gives you all of their contact information. It gives you your telephone number, your email address, your website. So anybody you get your telephone number. So if you're really trying to get contact with me, if you go on Instagram, look up Champion Basketball, it'll pull me up and you can get in contact with me. So yeah, those are ways people can get in contact with me. And I love to help, student athletes or just people in general to go to that next level. And my true passion is helping you become more of who you created to be. So that's what drives me every day. There's a lot more potential in all of us, and I'm just so committed to that. I want you to reach your full potential. I want you to be a champion. I want you to be a champion on the court, the classroom, the boardroom, at your home. Just be a champion in life.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, Walter, man, I appreciate you having me on. Say hello to the wife and my nieces and my nephew for me, man, and we'll get together soon, my friend.
All right. Thank you, Darren.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.